What's up, everybody? Corellian Collectibles here with another shipment review that I'm going to be going over. As you can see, I got in the newest, I'll call it the Book of Boba Fett wave, because it is in fact a wave of complete Book of Boba Fett characters, as well as the Holocomm Mandalorian. This is actually from Shop Disney and not from Hasbro Pulse, so Shop Disney did send this out. It actually shipped yesterday and I already got it today, which I was really surprised about. So I'll be going over all of these figures in this particular wave. As far as a review goes, Cad Bane I will not be opening, so I will not review him in too much detail, only because he's too close to the 2-pack from Target that I have, so I'm not looking at opening him and displaying him. I don't need a different figure with only a different face, but let's get into it. So again, starting off with Cad Bane. Again, I'm not going to be opening this one, so it is going to stay in the packaging. This is number 5 in the Book of Boba Fett mural line. It is right next to Black Chrysanthemum. Not much to really say about this because, again, if you have the Target 2-pack exclusive, there's not really too much of a difference between it. So I'll try to get a close-up without the glare of the light. As you can see with the faces, the 2-pack one came with the snarled face, which I personally like a little bit more. You can't really tell because he is in the package that the faces are different. This one from the 2-pack kind of has a little bit of a, like I said, a snarling smirk to it. And this one is more of just a generic straight-faced with the teeth exposed. I just think the snarling effect fits the character of Cad Bane a little bit more than the single release. And I'm kind of glad that this one actually released before the single one. Because I would have been a little disappointed if I had picked up the single one and then knowing that the 2-pack came out with the better looking head sculpt, in my opinion, the different accessories. You can't really tell in the packaging, but believe it or not, the gauntlets are also different. The gauntlets that came with the one for the 2-pack do have that little notch in there for the insert for his flame effects, whereas this one has those filled in. So I don't think it's an original piece that they just filled in with more plastic. I do believe that those are new pieces that they did. So yeah, we could call it technically a straight re-release almost, but there are some new parts to it just with the head and the gauntlets. And then other than that, it is the exact same figure. So again, this one will stay in the packaging. I'll probably sell it off to somebody who just wanted this one, maybe somebody who wants it for a mint on card collection. But again, I don't see a purpose in keeping it just because of the different head sculpt. So I am just going to go right down the line with the murals. Up next is number 6, which is the Tusken Chieftain. Without even taking this out of the package, I know from some of the glam shots, you could tell that this particular figure did have a couple of reused parts. So let's take a look at him. This is real time. I hadn't opened these ahead of time yet. So obviously his staff, his brand new parts. Taking a look, let's see here. I do have the original Tusken Raider that I'm going to be comparing it to in a second. All right, so right off the bat, the cloak does feel slightly different material than the original Tusken Raider that was released in the Red Box line, and then in the 40th line, and then for a third time in the Archive line. This detail on the robe is printed on, so it is fabric, and then it is a separate piece, and then it's printed on. I think that looks pretty good. And just looking at the character of the Chieftain, I know he wasn't like overly prominent in the show, but you know, he was significant enough that I thought it was pretty cool to get an action figure of. Just the fact that they do now go into kind of like the single jointed knees. Looking at the legs right off the bat, it does look like, you know, they're the older legs, probably from the original Tusken. Let me just see here if I could pick this one up and get this one next to it. So yeah, as you can see, it is reuse of the legs. The wrappings around the calves, the ankles, and the feet are exactly the same, which is fine. It's kind of like along the lines of the Morgan Elsbeth that reused the dark gray legs, and that were also used, I think, for Asajj Ventress as well. They're covered, and you know, why waste the time and the budget on brand new parts when it's not really necessary? The skirt piece and the torso are obviously different because with the original it did have the bandolier wrapped around, and then it has these pockets on the belt in the front, so it is a different belt, a different torso. He does have the butterfly joints, which is cool. So obviously, since it is a new torso, they did upgrade with the butterfly joints. One thing I was curious about was the arms to see. Yeah, so same thing. The arms are exactly the same. Again, they're covered by the robe. It's a Tusken Raider. Most of them dress similarly anyway, so why waste the time on creating a brand new figure from head to toe for something like this? It would have been, a waste of parts if you already have it. Head sculpt is brand new, and it looks great. You can look at the details here. There is sort of a bit of a transition with the paint from the back into the front. You could see it starts off with that really dark brown into like almost the tan, but then there's kind of like an in-between color right there. So that's a nice touch. Obviously the pieces around his neck, the necklace is different. And then, like I said, his spear is obviously brand new too, because it's, gotta get it in his hand. So the spear is his from the show. It's specific to that character, so they included that, which is nice. I'll probably add a photo maybe of him standing next to, I call it Nomad Boba Fett, so we'll see how he looks. He stands fine. I didn't really have any issues with the original Tusken Raider. Based on his torso, you could see he is a little bit shorter than the original Tusken, so I don't know what his height is in the show versus a regular Tusken, so I don't know if it's accurate or not, but it's not really a big deal. We're not talking about a significant amount of feet as far as a difference in a figure goes, but he'll look great on the Book of Boba Fett shelf that I have, so I'll add him and I'll take a photo of what that looks like when I put them on the shelf, or maybe a quick snapshot. But it's a cool figure. I'm a little disappointed because, we got the Tusken Chieftain, which is great. And then, Vintage Collection got the Tusken Warrior, who I felt like was more of a notable character in the show, helping train Boba Fett with, using the gaffa stick and everything. So hopefully maybe down the line we will get a Tusken Warrior. But as far as like other Tusken Raiders from the show, maybe the young Tusken child that Boba rescues. I'm not really looking into getting like an army of Tuskens or anything like that. So Tusken Chieftain, I think it was a good choice. It's a good looking figure. He'll look great on the shelf too. All right, up next is the Pyke Soldier. So he is number 7 in the line. I'm just going to take note of the mural art. Mural art looks great. Ever since they transferred to this type of packaging in 2020, I have absolutely loved it. I think, just the way that you can line them up, they look great. I don't keep the packaging just because I don't have the space to display the packaging, nor the storage space to keep it. So there's really no point in me keeping them, but I do think they are cool, especially for inbox collectors. Kind of breaks up the shelf a little bit. So we'll get the Pyke Soldier out of here. Ah, yes. No more plastic-free packaging, that's for sure. All right, so initial thoughts about the Pyke Soldier. It was in enough episodes. We saw it. It was a great, character to see. And now that, alien species are always good for me in the line. So it's great to see the Pyke Soldier make it into the line. Only complaint I have about this figure is nothing about the figure itself. It was the planning of it. You have a figure. There are a lot of them in the show. Why could we not make this mask removable? And why could we not include a bunch of extra masks? We saw different colors. We saw gold, we saw red, and we saw silver in the show. I can for a fact say, had they included the 3 different masks, I would have picked up 3 versions of this figure to have all 3 representations on the shelf. Because I don't usually army build unless there's a distinction between like characters that are ranked in a show, like generals, officers, lieutenants, things like that. I will not be picking up any more Pyke Soldiers to army build this guy. So it was a very missed opportunity, which I was very upset about. Regardless, the figure looks great. We look at the details here. So we do have those single jointed legs. He does have the thigh swivel still. So I do believe this figure was brand new from the ground up as far as the design is going. As you can see, you look in there, he does have those butterfly joints, which is always a nice touch. And then it seems like, just looking at the details, this piece is the torso, and then this seems to be like a rubber, softer plastic overlay. So I'm not sure if in the future they might use that torso for something else, like another character. I mean, they could. It's just a torso, so if there's another rubber overlay over it, I guess, they could potentially use that as, a torso for reused parts or something. Blaster is brand new. It's a brand new blaster rifle. This, I believe, yeah, this is the pistol that came with the Cassian Andor, originally in the Target 3-pack, that builds out to the extended rifle, and then he was re-released in the Mural line. At least I think it is. It looks similar. I'll have to grab it for the rest of the review. Yeah, because it's got that peg on the back. It looks like it, so I'll have to double check. I'll grab that and see if it is in fact a reuse. But again, if that's the pistol that he used in the show, which I'm pretty sure it is, then fine, include it. Again, Pyke Soldier is really cool. The details on the head are decent. Got some weathering on there, like chipped paint, which is good. It's darker clothing, so to really get any other kind of weathering, like any sort of sand weathering from being on Tatooine, like on the boots, I don't know how difficult that would have been. But yeah, again, it's been in enough episodes. Missed opportunity again is just with the different colored masks. I thought it would have been cool to have, like I said, gold, silver, and red interchangeable masks, just to be able to have different soldiers on the shelf. And for people who pose and do photographs and everything, seeing Boba Fett and Mando take out a bunch of different ones would have been really cool. But it's fine. It's a great figure. Really cool looking. Details are nice. Not a lot of paint. It's a pretty straightforward costume from the show, so it doesn't really need a lot of paint. But yeah, he's gonna look cool on the shelf too. And then finally, as part of this mainline wave, is Star Wars: The Book of Boba Fett, The Mandalorian from Glavis Ringworld. When they first revealed this Mandalorian, I could tell it was the Mandalorian just by the way that Patrick was introducing it, and I got a little concerned because I thought to myself, here we are again. We're getting another Mandalorian action figure in the line. But when they revealed it, I don't care that it's in the Book of Boba Fett packaging. This Mandalorian right here, above all the other Mandalorians that we have had in the line, has to be the best looking Mandalorian I have ever seen. I don't like the fact that they keep including all of these different variations of Mando in the line. Now, I do have the Target exclusive from Arvala 7, and I do have the Maldo Kreese, which I will be comparing it to because he does have similar pieces of armor. However, those ones I felt were like paint variants, which is fine, so I did include them. But this one is it. This is the Mandalorian I feel like the Black Series has been waiting for. You look at it, his armor has much more of a shine to it than some of the earlier variations of it. You can see that this torso piece right here is actually a rubber overlay, so there is another torso underneath it. Looking at, let me see here. It looks like the arms, are the arms brand new? I don't know if that twists. I feel like it would turn. I just don't want to break it. Yeah, it looks like it turns. I just don't want to mess with it right now because that's it should be on the side. It's underneath, but it looks like let me just grab the other Mandalorian figure I have. So this is a combination of the Amazon exclusive with the Beskar spear and then the head from the tank operator. So just looking at this, it looks like the arms, the forearms at least. No, they're different because you could see that the new one is a little bit wider. And then obviously the biceps are new because this one, the original had the armor right on the bicep as a single piece. And then this one, as they mentioned, has that new technology with the armor pieces where it's got the O-rings in it. So then torso's new, arms are new, legs are new. Looking at the comparison there, you can see the details on the fabric on the back are new, obviously. And he does have that new armor piece, but again, if you look at the Maldo Kreese version, he had that piece as well to make it accurate to that episode. but you can tell that they're also new because of the knee joints. So the originals all had that double knee joint, and this one has the single, which is nice. And then obviously because of that, the boots are new. Biggest pluses from this are obviously the fact that he came with the fabric cape. Landspeeder Luke did a review yesterday on it about how it's kind of like a stretchy material, which is good because I think that kind of gives it more movement. And it looks like he has the same, almost the same pegs as the other one did in terms of what can fit in. So let me just check this really quick. I did grab the rifle from my original Mando, and let's see. Yeah, it looks like that does fit in, so that's cool. That does give us the ability to give the original look where he has the rifle in his back. Now it doesn't have the hole here like the original ones do, but that's okay because I always felt like that got in the way when you were posing it. So that's good. That's a nice touch that you're able to do that, because technically I think, you know, this is like his season 2 look. So it's good to have like the ability to put the rifle behind him, because he didn't lose the rifle until his ship got blown up. So that's cool. And then I believe they said, yeah, he has a, is that a separate piece? I thought they said in the video that they did behind the scenes that the helmet was a separate piece. No, it doesn't look like it would be a separate piece from the face. So curious what they did. That must have just been a prototype. But anyway, let's get back to this one. So looking at the pistol, yeah, it's the same one. Where is it? No, that one's different too, because some of the markings are missing on that side. And it does look a little bit longer. So that's actually a new piece. So that's interesting that they decided to do that. Probably the hands are the same. I can't imagine they needed to change the mold of the hands. Pistol fits in fine. No problems there. What else does he comes with his vibro blade, which is a nice touch. I felt like that was something that was missing. And then that just slides right into his armor right there. So that's cool. Let's see what else. He comes with the Darksaber. What's nice about the Darksaber is the fact that it has those details basically from, I guess, the credit collection Moff Gideon. I know the one that came with the original Moff Gideon was missing some of that white detail. I do wish it had some of like the lightning effects. I like the TVC version has those lightning effects in it, kind of to add the extra effect. So that's kind of disappointing that one gets. And then, like I said, with the cape, now that it's soft goods, you have the ability to display him with his cape and his jetpack on at the same time. Huge misstep originally, so that's good. Again, great looking figure, easily the best one of the set. It's Mando. It's a all new tooled figure. I'm not going to be, I think, getting rid of any of my original ones from the set or from the other sets that I have, just because they're different to me. They're different variations. Now, as far as them re-releasing the one in the next that A-list, as Yakface pointed out, the A-list figures of him and Darth Vader, I'm not going to be picking that up. That to me is a waste. If that's going to be the new archive line, then fine, go for it. But I'm not going to be picking that one up. There's no point. This one is better. Comes with more accessories, the Darksaber, the jetpack. It's a great looking figure, so I could completely understand why they would want to re-release it. But again, I'm not going to be picking that up. So just to compare it to some of the other figures, we have the Maldo Kreese one right here. And again, the Amazon 3-pack one with the head. It's a little bit shorter than the Maldo Kreese one, and I actually have his legs spaced out, so I'm not really sure how that works. But again, I can be okay with that. And as you can see with the light, it does have more of like a glossier, shinier look as opposed to the original one, so that's good. I like that. Belt piece is new. It doesn't have that latch over it to hold in the blaster anymore, which is good. I know I'm spending a lot of time talking about this one, but I wanted to, because like I said, I think it's the best one of the set, and gotta put him next to Grogu. How does that look? Yeah, I mean, that's gonna look great on the shelf. I'm trying to figure out if I want to put him, I'll probably put him on the Book of Boba Fett shelf first, and then maybe move him over to my Mando shelf. I don't know. We'll have to see. So yeah, no, it easily, again, great upgrade. I'm glad that they decided to do it. Additional accessories, brand new mold. You can't ask for more in a figure. And then just to talk about this really quick, I don't have it opened yet, so I'm not going to be opening it for a review. This is This is the only Holocomm figure I am planning on picking up, just because I like the Mandalorian as a character. I feel like his figures always look really cool, but in terms of the rest of the line, I'm not a huge fan of these sublines with all of the different re-releases of molds and different paint apps, and you know, you got the holiday figures, the credit collection, the carbonized, now it's the Holocomm. I just don't see a point to that stuff. I mean, it's fine. I know people like some of them. The holiday figures are obviously very, very popular. I don't personally want to collect them because I feel like if we're going to waste spots on figures that already have the molds done and they're just repaints, then do it with troop builders. The Clones of the Republic subline that's coming out, I think that's definitely a step in the right direction. But again, I got this just because it's Mandalorian, it's the bounty puck, the wanted sign. He'll probably actually go to work and he'll be a piece to be displayed on my desk at work instead of in my full collection, just because it's, to me, it's like a nice little desk piece. If this were released outside of the Black Series, I probably still would have picked it up, just because it's one of those things, like it's a nice looking item for display, but I will not be picking any of the other ones up. I hope it might be just a one and done thing. I hope they don't continue this for years to come like they did with Credit Collection and Carbonized, but we'll have to see. Again, the Clones of the Republic set, I feel like, is going to be more of a popular aspect of it, especially since we saw the Ahsoka 2-pack on Target sell out. Even though it was cheaper, it still sold out. The Mace Windu and Clone pack sold out on Hasbro Pulse. That's the kind of stuff that I think we need to be reusing parts for and offering different paint applications. And if the Clones of the Republic is popular, then I hope something along the lines of droids of the Separatist Army, they start doing that, or officers of the Empire. Again, that would be, I think, more beneficial as far as reuse, and more collectors would probably go for that as opposed to the other ones. So just to give a quick shot of this, I don't want to, again, that's the Cad Bane from the 2-pack. I didn't open it, but just to give kind of like a quick overview of what the wave looks like. If you decide to order a case of these, there's only 4 figures in the wave. It's the 4 that you see. So if you order the set, you get the 4. If you order a case, each one is packed 2 per case. I don't know how well these are going to sell at retail. Mando's probably going to sell very well. Maybe the Pyke, because it is an army builder, but as far as the Chieftain and Cad Bane, if a lot of people already picked up the one from the Target 2-pack, I don't see Cad Bane selling very well. I also don't see necessarily the Tusken selling very well. It's a good looking figure, but to have something like that 2 per case, if people are buying cases, okay, Mando's going to be popular enough. You get 2 Pyke Soldiers in the case. Who needs 2 Tusken Chieftains? But again, it's, variety. People are able to get them, so that's fine. But here it is. This is the newest mainline wave. I officially now have no mainline waves on pre-order because there are no more out there. So I'm curious to see what the next mainline wave would be, and to see when it goes up for pre-order, and actually how long we wind up waiting until it comes in stock. Because if these ones are already available, I got these from cmdstore.com. Great place. I've ordered many mainline figures from there. They are Canada based, but they do ship to the US. Very reasonable with their prices. So if you want this, they do still have the set, as well as the Chieftain and the Pyke Soldier in stock. If you wanted to order it, I do recommend them. I'll be coming back to them for a lot of stuff. But yeah, this is the last mainline wave, and now that it's available, it'll probably start popping up in the US within the next month, and then beyond that, I'd be curious to see what the next mainline wave is. So just to add really quick, a couple still shots. The jetpack with the pegs is actually brand new. It's not the same jetpack from the original Mandalorians. Something I missed in the review is that Mando does have a little notch on his belt to hold the dark saber, so that's a nice little touch there. So he is completely brand new head to toe. And then finally, the pistol that does come with the Pyke Soldier is in fact a reuse of the original Cassian Andor pistol. Alright, so just as a final overview here, we have now my completed Book of Boba Fett shelf. We have, I'm going to keep Mando here for a while. I think he looks good next to Boba Fett. Tusken Chieftain and Pyke Soldier in there, with some variations of the different Boba Fetts that we've gotten. Yeah, like I said, no more mainline pre-orders left. The only ones I have that are technically part of like a series, I guess, are the Padme and the Anakin from Phantom Menace. But I got the R5D4 Fleet Commander over there, and then I got, you know, Balin and Shin up here. So all of the main lines are officially in. Just as like a final note before I sign off from the review video, taking a look at the Book of Boba Fett shelf. A couple characters that I wouldn't mind adding to it. Obviously, this Boba Fett technically isn't part of Book of Boba Fett in the show. It was only shown in a flashback from when he blasted Bib Fortuna off the chair. So I would like an accurate Daimyo Book of Boba Fett figure to add to the shelf. Like I said, Tusken Warrior would be pretty cool to add. Other than that, everybody else is kind of like side characters. Maybe Pelimoto, just because she's prominent in Mandalorian as well. Carson Teva shows up every once in a while. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty much set. This is a pretty good looking shelf. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. So I appreciate you checking out the channel. If you like this video, you can check out some of my older review videos that I have, as well as a room tour of my wall-to-wall Star Wars Black Series collection that you could check out. I uploaded a couple weeks ago. Again, if you like these reviews, I'll keep adding more as I get more figures in. We'll see what the next ones are that wind up coming in. You know, as a final note too, if you want to get your hands on the wave early and you live in the States or in Canada, check out cmdstore.com. Again, great people to work with. They ship it out really fast, gets here really quick. I think I ordered it on Saturday of last week and it came in today, which is Saturday, so a week's worth of time from a Canadian shipment. Again, you know, they're partly US based too, but a week's time, can't complain at all. So thanks again for checking out the channel. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below what you think of the new wave, what your favorite figure is, what you're looking forward to picking up, and just your overall thoughts. And I hope you check out my videos in the future. Thanks for tuning in.